y'all, it's Diane with Shawcraft One in my old barn door, and I am just continuing with my working on digitals that I have misprinted or didn't print the way that I wanted them to, and so I am going to reuse them and make them into something else. So I have this lined page from, I'm not sure which one of my digital kits this is in. It's in several because I like to put lined pages in all of them for you to have. This printed on the cardstock, and I didn't really want it on the cardstock, so I just kind of stuffed it in that little folder. So I am going to cut this up into tags and use it as the back of some tags. So I'm going to get rid of all the white spaces. I should have done this before I started the video. Sorry, guys. So I know this is not like the funnest thing to watch in the world. It's just me trimming paper. That's okay, though. It'll be all right. Okay. So now, what I want to do, I have these. Let me find them. I have these. Okay. And I'm thinking I want to let this, make this into a tag and let this be the back. And on the back side of this, I can add, maybe a couple of these. So let me find one that I want to add. Scoop it over. Okay. Let's see. I want to do, I know I want to do this one and maybe this one. What's wrong, Gracie? Do you need to go potty? Hold on, guys. Okay, sorry about that. So, while I had the video paused, I went ahead and cut these out so that you don't have to be bored silly watching me cut them out. So, what I want to do is I want to see how wide I need to cut my tag. So, because I don't want it to be a huge tag. It doesn't have to be real big, but I do want it to be a tag and not a journaling card, which is, it's basically the same. You know what I mean. Alright, so I'm going to just line that up right there. So we're at 3 1/4. So I'm just going to cut, I'm going to cut these in 3 1/4 sizes. And see how many we get. I think I'm only going to get 2 out of them. I don't know if that one will be big enough or not. However, this can be another, a backing for something else. So, now what I want to do is I want to take I'm just going to cut my tag top. These are probably not the best scissors to do this with, but it's the ones I grabbed. I'll do it on this one too. And it don't have to be perfect. Okay. And then I want to turn it over, and I want to do like a collage with this on here. So, where is... Okay, so I have some of this. So I think actually I want to make... No, I want to do a collage. So let's just use some of this. This was a kind of a mess up print too, or an extra piece. I don't remember which, but so I'm just going to tear a little bit of this out. Okay, let's tear the edge here because I don't generally like a straight edge. Okay. And then we'll tear here. And I want for some reason I want music, so I think I want to see if I can grab a piece of music to go under here. I think this is, nope, that's a workbook page. Where is my music? I have it somewhere. That's not music. That's just extra pieces that I need to do something with. Here's some music. I don't want the really big music though. I kind of want a vintage looking music. Where is it? We can use this one. And I'm just going to need a little bit. I don't need a whole big piece. We're going to get rid of some of that edge. So I think I want to go here. I need to tear that a little more. I don't know why, but I always love this symbol. So if I can find it on a page, I always choose that portion of the page so that I can use that on my tags and stuff. Make this a little shorter. I want to tear a little straighter across this edge down here. There. That's kind of how I want it. So I'm going to go ahead and start adding this. Kind of quiet today, guys. Sorry. Got a lot on my mind. And I get to concentrating. Okay. So oh shoot, I meant to ink those. Darn. Dang dang. Oh well. Okay. Well, I'll ink this one at least. So I'm going to use Vintage Photo. It's Tim Holtz. I just want to go around the edges a little, just to make it stand out a little more. Okay, we'll put him right there. I hate that I didn't ink the edges of that, but that's okay. We'll fix it. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and glue this one down. Oops. That didn't lay right. Don't rip. Okay, we're going to try again. See if we can make it straight this time. Ugh. Okay. So now we have that down there, and then I think I want to take a stencil and go at the top here a little bit. I knew I had this somewhere. I have this little doily stencil. So I'm just going to take that same brown or vintage photo and do the top there. Okay. And then I'm going to just take it and ink around the edges here and kind of fill in the white edges a little, because I'm not a huge fan of a white background. Go ahead and fill that in too. Okay, and then if you want to, you can leave it just like it is, or you can stitch around the edges, or, you know, do some stitching, you know, some decorative stitch work or whatever. But there you have a very simple little tag, and you have the lines on the back for journaling. Let me see where we're at on our time. I can't tell. I need to be taller. Okay, I think we're doing okay. Hang on. Okay, sorry. I can't see, I'm too short. Okay, and I have some of this vintage ribbon that I got from, I think I got it from Selena, and I love it. I love using these for tag toppers. So I'm just going to cut a little piece there, and I think this one I want to staple on. And then sometimes I like to leave my staples showing, and then sometimes I like to cover them up. And I think on this one, I want to add a little eyelash trim here and a button. So let's see what kind of button we have. That's a cute little button. Not sure it really goes though with the color. No. No. I don't want to do a butterfly because we have a bird on the tag. Nope. Ew. I like that one. And I know it right now it looks like, oh, it blends in. But when you put the eyelash trim underneath it, it kind of helps bring it out. So I think we need kind of a neutral color eyelash trim. So I have this one. And so I'm just going to kind of wad it up. Like that. And then I'm going to put a little dab will do ya. A little dab of hot glue there. Let's not burn me. So I'm going to push it in with my little handy dandy skewer. And then I want to grab something to go through the button. Just to make you realize it's a button. Put a little hot glue there. And then we're going to put him right in the center. And then we have a pretty little tag. And we've used a couple of our misprints from our digitals. So there's one. And then the next tag, let me see where we're at on our time. Yeah, I think I got time because it won't take long to do this one. The next tag, not this one, I'm going to do something else with, I'm going to do another one like this, but you've already seen me do that. So I'll do that off camera. So I'm going to put these together so I remember that that's what I wanted to do with them. And then these were just offcuts, you know, from that digital ephemera kit that I have in my shop. And I never used them, so I want to use them in this journal because she said she liked sewing stuff. So I'm going to put a little bit of sewing ephemera in the journal for her. Okay, I need to clear some of this off because everything's in my way now. Sorry. I just need to make a little room. Alright, so I'm going to cut these out and I'll be right back. Okay, so for these, I thought we would play with a little bit of mixed media stuff just to have some fun with it. So I brought out some inks. I have these Distressed Oxides from Tim Holtz. This one is Seedless Preserved, Picked Raspberries, or Picked Raspberry, and then Spun Sugar. So what I want to do is, I have the front the way I want it, other than inking around the edges, but I'm going to ink around the edges last. So I'm going to turn these over because I don't want them to just be plain white on the back side. So we're going to take some ink and we are just going to kind of add some ink to each of our tags. Just in spots. And then we're going to kind of blend our colors in together and make a pretty design on the back. Alright, so we've got Spun Sugar. Now I'm going to trade my little sponge here. And the next one we're going to use is the Picked Raspberry. And I'm just going to go to the next area of the tag. Just kind of blending it all in. Trying to get rid of the lines if possible. And just making sure we have a good cover on our tag. Okay, and then the next one we'll go to is the Seedless Preserves. We'll do it at the top. And just kind of blend those colors together. Well, y'all hear my stomach growling? I'm hungry. I think after this video, I might have some lunch before I keep going. All right. So now that we have our tags like this, I mean, that's pretty, but it's, you know, I just want to do something else with it, okay? So before I do something else with that, I don't want to waste my ink that's here on my table. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take a little water and just spray it. And I'm going to take a scrap little piece of paper here. these are little cut-offs that I usually have left over sometimes when I print my shipping labels. And so I'm just going to dip it in and soak up the extra leftover ink that I have left on my mat so that I don't waste anything. And then these can be used in like those little booklets that I made in the last video. So, and I'll put these to the side and add more colors as we go. But for now, I'm going to lay them over here and let them dry. Okay, and then I'm going to take paper towel and just kind of dry off my mat. And I'm going to pull my tags back over. And let's just do some play stuff with them. On the first one, I have this idea. I'm going to take a baby wipe. Now these oxide inks, the inks are activated when you wet it. Hang on. Okay, I just had to grab my stencils. So the inks are activated when you wet it. So I'm going to take, I think I want to do something like that. Because all I really want to do is add a little interest, but I don't want to add so much interest that she don't want to write on the back of her tag. So I'm just going to take a baby wipe and lay my stencil over my tag, and then I'm just going to rub over the stencil with that baby wipe. And you can go as hard or as little as you know, as dark or as light as you want to go with it. But what we're doing is the water or the wetness in the baby wipe is activating the ink underneath. And so you get that. So you have a little bit of a design. It almost looks like a watercolor. You know, but it's still not so much that she is going to be afraid to write on it because she don't want to mess it up. And then I'm going to take a little water and just spray it on the tag because that's going to activate that even more. And I'm going to dry it, so hang on so you don't have to listen. Okay, and so I've dried the tag, and now I'm going to hold it up kind of close. Hopefully you can see it okay. Come on, camera. Focus for me. I don't know if you can see, you know, the little dots in there where it's activated the ink. And you have a really smooth background so she can still write on it. It does add a little texture with the water, which is really cool, but she can still write on the back of this and use it as a tag. So now the last thing I want to do is go around. Hold on, somebody's at my door. Okay, sorry, I had the mailman and UPS at my door at the same time. So I'm going to take this color, the Seedless Preserves, and I'm just going to go around the edge of my tag just to get rid of any white edges or any imperfections. It kind of hides the imperfections. And I'm going to go around the edge of this one too. That, and then I'm going to punch my hole. I'm going to use my Crop-A-Dile because that's a little bit smaller of a hole. I know it's kind of hard for you to see this, but and you know what? I think I might want to use an eyelet in there. See if we can find us a pretty eyelet. My stomach is just a growling. Okay. didn't do what I wanted it to do. Let me try again. Oh, I think I need to get the bigger little piece under there. Let's try that. Oh yeah, that's much better. Okay. So now we have an eyelet in our sweet little tag and a pretty little decoration on the back, so it's not just so boring white. And then we can tie us a little string through the top there, or a ribbon. And I have this pretty little ribbon that I got. I think it was wrapped around something in some Happy Mail. Let me get my handy dandy skewer and push it on through. I use that skewer for so much. It's so funny. My fingers don't want to cooperate with me this morning. Okay, so we're going to do that, and then I want to add one more thing just for a little something extra. I want to take some eyelash trim and just tie it around the top of the tag tie. And I'm just going to tie it in a knot. Just like that. So there you have another tag made from a mix up or an offcut of your digitals. And you get to play with some mixed media in the process. Alright, and so I'm going to do these two a little differently. Well, I think on one of them I want to use this stencil. And so I'm just going to kind of go off the tag there a little. And I'm just going to make some little marks with my baby wipe. Like that. And let's do something kind of on this side. And then maybe a splatter on this side. Like that. And you get a cute little design. And then on this one, I think on this one I want to do something a little bit different just to play. So I'm going to grab, I have this spray bottle and I just put coffee in it, okay? And so I am going to spray it onto the tag and activate this ink. And I'm going to dry it as I'm doing it. So if you don't like the noise, turn the video or mute it or whatever. But I just kind of want you to see what happens the more you wet it. So I'm going to zoom in a little so you can see a little better. Okay, hopefully you can see that okay. And I just have a blow dryer because I don't have a heat tool. So it is what it is. And I'm just going to spray this coffee on this ink, and you see how it's already activating that ink. Super cool. And so I'm just going to go to the low setting and I'm going to start drying that coffee. And as it's drying, you can see how it's activating the ink and making sort of a little design on there. And then I'm just going to take, and that can kind of dab over it so that it's not, you know, just sopping wet. So it's pretty dry except for in a couple of little spots. And sometimes if you hold your tag up, the heat can kind of go through the tag and it dries it a little faster. Just be careful because it will burn your fingers if you're using a hairdryer like I'm using. This is an old hairdryer, very old hairdryer. Okay, so as it starts drying, I'm going to come back in with the coffee and I'm going to spray again because it's going to reactivate that ink. You see how it's reactivating the ink already? And it just makes different designs. So you can spray it as many times as you want to make whatever different designs you want. Or watermarks. It's basically, you know, like watermarks, but it's with coffee. And the coffee just kind of grunges it up and darkens it up a little. Okay, I'm sorry about the noise, but it was necessary for you to be able to see what it would do. So then you have that on the back side of your tag. Now once everything's good and dry, you get like this really smooth finish on the back of your tag with those oxide inks. They have a really cool feel to them. They don't come off on your hands. You can see they don't come off on your fingers or anything. So she can write on those and you know, do what she wants to with them, and she doesn't have to worry about the ink coming off on her hands. But I just kind of like the look of what it does with the water droplets. So that's 3 different ways you can use your inks in your mixed media projects, and you can wet this one if you want to and get, you know, this effect as well. It's just kind of whatever you want to do. You play with it, have fun with it. I've been having fun with my mixed media stuff. So those are just a couple more ideas of things that you can do with your digital offcuts. And yeah, so just kind of playing around today. Not really playing around. I mean, I'm making ephemera for this next journal that I'm working on. So just thought I would share a little bit of what I'm doing with you. And thank you all so much for watching. If you will like the video for me and subscribe. If you have any comments or questions, you can leave them in the comment box below. And I thank y'all so much. I love y'all real big.